This is a quick style history of Palos Verdes Estates. Not yet, Palos Verdes Estates is part of the Palos Verdes Peninsula. Peninsula is a testicular outcropping on the southwest corner of LA, a big hill with an unstable base, meaning the ground is always shifting and its cliffs occasionally tumble into the ocean. First people here are the Tongva, not what they would have called themselves. Here they have a village called Chawigna, later a massively important site for archaeologists, for now just where the Tongva hang out, doing their thing for thousands of years. Then Spain shows up. You're doing civilization wrong, let me show you, setting off the slow death of most of the Tongva. In the 1800s, maybe inspired by the US shaking off England, Mexico does the same with Spain. US gives Mexico a high five, then a sucker punch, and California becomes another star in the American flag. In 1923, Frank Vanderlip and his land syndicate get going on a planned community called Palos Verdes Estates. Layout and landscaping placed in the hands of the Olmsted brothers. Dad designed Central Park in New York, so they probably know what they're doing. Vanderlip really wants things classy, so there's gotta be rules. No annoying stuff like billboards, bars, or cemeteries. No selling or renting to non-whites, and if you're black, you better be a driver, or a gardener, or a, quote, domestic servant. A clever little trick for PVE is establishing an art jury. Since the 20s, this group has a say on everything that goes up. It's the final judge on style and material, even the danged angle on every roof. One of the city's more recognizable art pieces comes straight from Italy. Art collector slash businessman Arnoldo Adolfo de Segni shows up in the US with a giant statue of Neptune. After he sinks into bankruptcy, a group called the Palos Verdes Project buys the statue for $1 and gifts it to the Palos Verdes Estates. Over the years, the statue has been spray painted, toppled, and restored. It even fell into controversy once when local residents thought it might be a good idea to put a fig leaf over Neptune's big old dong. An important part of every good estate is how to keep the filthy poor out. PVE originally wants to build gatehouses at all its entrances, but changes its mind midstream. They're left with the Mirlo Gate Lodge Tower, a sort of Arthurian fantasy brick castle thing. Palos Verdes Estates doesn't actually incorporate until 1939, probably wanting to make sure LA County doesn't come trying to run things. Instead, they make their own government and start handling things themselves. They even have their own cops, though in 1945 there's only 6 of them, but boy are they kept busy. Besides whatever cops do in a quiet, affluent neighborhood, they've also got to work the fire trucks, fight fires, and even use their personal cars to go on patrol. In the 60s, Palos Verdes Estates is a well-known surf destination and home to surfer crew Lunada Bay Boys. There are others, Portuguese Ben crew, Haggerty's crew, all innocent enough, just some buds goofing off and surfing. Then surfing gets hip and the Lunada Bay Boys start to hassling. Trying to surf Lunada Bay when not one of the boys will get your tires slashed. In their own words, if we let every nice guy surf, there'd be 100 guys out here. You have to nip it in the bud. The reason it's not crowded is that people protect it. It's dude. People think we're a bunch of assholes, but you know what? We want to keep it like this so we can go somewhere where it's fucking sacred. Surprise, surprise, many will later say cops tend to look the other way. Boys will be boys. In the 70s, the International Bilingual School forms in Torrance, Japanese language for Japanese kids of parents here to work for the likes of Honda and Toyota. In 92, the bilingual operations moved to Palos Verdes Estates, leasing half a campus. 20 years later, school district wants its campus back, brings in the law. International Bilingual School scoots back down to Torrance. 2016, and all that Lunada Bay Boys trouble comes to a head. City is forced to act. Take away the kids' clubhouse. A well-known fort is torn down where the LBBs smoked weed or whatever. Police start getting flack for not taking action. Lawsuits pile up. Stories bubble up of female surfers getting harassed. While personal lawsuits have been going on since the 90s, it's not until 24 that consequences show up and individual bay boys get a stern talking to. Pay damages or agree to stay off the beach for a year. The economic spanking probably wasn't too rough, as Palos Verdes Estates is still one of the wealthiest communities in California.